This is Hunter, and behind him, his second-gen 4Runner built to patrol the Alaska trails with 1-ton axles on 40-inch tires. This video of Hunter and his rig starts off episode 1 of my new series, Unique 4x4 Builds of Alaska. In this episode, we will ride along with Hunter, get to learn about his off-road background, and find out what led to this one-of-a-kind 4Runner build. Hey guys, we're out here on a nice April day in Alaska, a little bit of fresh snow. Today we're going riding with my friend Hunter, along with his friend Peyton, in his pretty built 4Runner. This video is the first video in a series I'm doing called the Unique 4x4 Builds of Alaska, where we will ride along with owners of Alaskan rigs and find out why they built their rigs the way that they did. We have about 8 miles of trail riding to do today, and obviously we've got some fresh snow on the ground here. We're expecting a little bit of mud because it's kind of almost spring here in Alaska. It's about like 32 degrees or so today. And we've got at least one water crossing that we have to make before we get to the lake. Once we get to the lake, we'll have some lunch and then we'll head 8 miles back, and along the way just kind of find out why Hunter built his 4Runner the way that he did. To tell the story of why he built it, let's first take a look at the build. Most of the recent mods, to include the fitting of 1-ton axles and 40-inch tires, has been done by none other than Green Tree Fabrication, located in Anchorage. We have Chevy 1-ton axles with 538 gearing. Up front, it's a Dana 60 with an ARB air locker, and in the rear, it's a spooled Corporate 14. Chevy 1-ton disc brakes, King 2.5-inch remote reservoir coilovers, Trail Gear 2.5-inch air bumps, Trail Gear 3-link, Green Tree Fab Dom drive shafts, Trail Gear hydro assisted steer, 40-inch Mickey Thompson Baja Pro XS tires on 17-inch method beadlocks. For the front bumper, we have a Trail Gear 2 bumper with a stinger, and inside of it is a come-up 9.5 RS winch. For the rear bumper, we also have a Trail Gear 2 bumper, and this one has a custom swing out for a spare tire, and Trail Gear rock sliders as well. He also has a twin transfer case setup with Marlin Crawler hardware and 1985 4Runner gears. Under the hood, he has a motor swap, but it's still a Toyota motor. It's the 345VZ FE. A dual ARB air compressor that goes to the front locker, as well as a 5-gallon air tank under the spare tire mount. I didn't quite get a great video of it, but he also has a dual battery setup, a snorkel with a Tacoma airbox, and last but not least, a police decal complete with red and blue lights.
Hello!
Alright, so we're heading out here. This is Hunter, he's the owner of the rig, and then this is Hunter's friend Peyton. And we will be moving and grooving here on the trail, make it to the lake about 8 miles out, and we'll kind of show you Hunter's rig along the way and give it a little showcase with Mishka barking in the background. I first rode with Hunter when he invited me to come as a passenger for the Baldy Challenge in 2023. Since then, I've been friends with Hunter and have gotten to see his rig transform into its latest stage on 1-tons and 40s. Every time I'm out with Hunter, it's been about making the most of Alaska while having some laughs, especially at the reactions when people see his police 4Runner.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother. Should we do it on two-wheel drive?
Alright, so we're kind of getting along the trail here. It's pretty easy riding, so I figured I might as well ask Hunter a few questions, kind of see where his origins were off-roading, how he got his start, and then the rigs that he's had and how he's built this rig up. How did you start off-roading?
So I started like racing dirt bikes and four-wheelers, riding four-wheelers and whatnot, and then got into a four-wheeler accident when I was 19 at Kasilof, broke my neck, was paralyzed for a little bit. That kind of woke me up. I was like, this is kind of dangerous. So I sold my dirt bike, sold my four-wheeler, and bought this 92 4Runner from my mom's friend, and it was bone stock. Drove it up. She drove it up from Seattle, where she bought it brand new, and I was like, I'm gonna lift this thing up and turn it into a buggy. So bought a 6-inch rough country lift kit for like $1,000 and some 32-inch, I think they were like Toyo open country MTs, just some mild mud tire, and that's how I started wheeling and dealing. Then I kept breaking it, you know, like that's how wheeling goes. So I'd hit a tree when I was out wheeling and towards Kenai, and it bent the upper control arm bracket. So there was kind of no fixing that. Couldn't just put a new part in there. It was like part of the welded bracket on the frame. So that's when I decided to do a solid axle swap. And I'd been talking with Green Tree a bunch about upgrading and what to do and how to do it. And they were just working out of their little shop. They had like a single garage shop with a little wood-fired heater. And so I'd stop by there and check it out. They gave me a bunch of pointers. They got me on the right track to just do a solid axle swap. So I'd found a 85 axle from a guy out in the valley, built it up a little bit, just kind of replaced all the bearings and parts and whatnot. And then I went to like Air Liquide and rented a oxyacetylene torch and a welder. And I'd never welded before, you know, just a little bit here and there. It worked, but nothing serious. So Green Tree was pretty good about like walking me through like how it needs to go, and it was pretty simple, like everything's online. So I did the solid axle swap and 63-inch leafs in the rear in my garage back in like 2012 or so, and maybe it was 2014, I don't remember. And just kind of went from there and just kept breaking our stuff and upgrading from there. And that's kind of how we're at, you know, where we're at now is, you know, Chevy 1-tons and 40s. Kept breaking stuff, you know, I was pushing the limits with 38-inch tires and stock Toyota axles. So that's about the story.
We got a little hill climb here, so we can kind of show off the climbing ability of Hunter's rig. I know sometimes it can be hard to tell here, but this is actually pretty steep. And it's pretty soft as well. You can see the tread marks that his tires leave. They just make a perfect little mark there, and there's lots of gaps in between, so perfect for mud and loose ground.
You look at your trail behind the 4Runner, it's like freaking huge. Like, I'm used to driving a Toyota that's very narrow, but with these axles, everything is just so much wider. So you really gotta like pick your tracks carefully, or else you won't make it through like 2 trees. Like, Toyotas are usually like the width of a side-by-side or a 4-wheeler, and then you do these upgrades to make it stronger and bulletproof. But now you're limited to what trails you can take and how narrow of a trail you can get through. So that's the only downside of these 1-tons and 40s. Like, I have a negative 40 offset, so it's not super crazy.
Can you explain the themes for this thing? Like, what you started off with the theme, why you chose the Jurassic Park theme, and then the police theme?
Oh yeah, so, you know, I painted it black and just rattle can black for a bit. Kind of got tired of that. Was like, man, I kind of want to do something cool with this rig. So, you know, I love Jurassic Park. That's a great movie, and I thought those Jeeps were pretty sweet. So, like man, no, not the Explorer, just the Jeep. The Explorer paint wrap's cool too, but that was just, there's too much going on there. And so I felt like it was pretty easy to do. Got some red spray paint, tried to paint match whatever gray or beige they had. So had it as a Jurassic Park, had the stickers, had the JP03 designation on it, and I changed that part from the movie. But one day we went to Esca Falls, and I just got the 3 links and coilovers and was trying to do donuts. Just flipped this thing over right on its top and crushed my A-pillar in. So I had to had to start over. There she goes. So a buddy of mine, he came over with his skid steer and forks, and I bought another 4Runner, and we just yanked the cab off that old frame and crushed body off that frame that had all the 3 links and coils and all the work done to it. And then we just put that used cab on there, and I stumbled across a pretty good deal where this company, they outfit cop cars and whatnot, and they had a bunch of old LED red blue strobe lights, and you know, so I bought one from them, and I had to, you know, promise to never take it off or take it on the road or pull anybody over, and then I had to get in contact with troopers and get permission to actually build an off-road truck and make sure that I was not breaking any laws. So I talked to the troopers about it, and you know, they told me just you can have it off-road, you can run reds and blues and sirens and lights, you just can't pull anyone over and you can't act like you're a cop. So it's like done, like easy. So that's where we're at now.
So Hunter's got this big old stinger bumper on the front there that you can kind of see poking out over the hood, and it has helped you before in...
Yeah, so I just started wheeling, and I had we were out at Jim Creek going through some real tight trails, and I stalled it out and it wouldn't start, and I was like, oh man, you know, I didn't know much about engines or problems or anything going wrong with this thing. And anyways, I like hooked the winch to a big cottonwood tree. It was probably like 20-inch in diameter, and I like put it in gear and winched to this tree to try to like free up the starter from the flywheel or something. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was young. I was like 20 years old, 19 or something. And anyway, I started winching to this cottonwood tree, and this huge cottonwood tree, it was like rotten from the inside out, and it fell down like right onto the front of the truck, hit the stinger, and pushed the whole front of the truck out of the way because it kind of like went towards the quarter panel. But if I wouldn't have had that stinger, it wouldn't have moved me. It would have just crushed the whole front side of this truck. It was, yeah, I'm glad I had it. That's about the only positive note of having that stinger besides using it as a plow truck mount.
Apologize if this is a little bit shaky here, but climbing this hill on foot, and then it's pretty good, steep hill. And we're gonna watch Hunter come up it. It's definitely pretty soft. I can feel my feet kind of like slipping back a little bit as I walk up. Oh yeah. Oh, there's some footsteps right here already. Somebody's been back here. It's got the police lights on. Nice. We'll be making our way to the creek crossing here pretty shortly. So we came up on the river crossing here and gonna get some of the cameras rigged up here to kind of show you what Hunter's rig can do. It's definitely got some shelves here, so I'll walk a little bit closer here and kind of show you guys. So where do you want to drop in?
I'll drop in right here, and then I'll go to that ice shelf and crawl up that way.
Okay. I'll drop in right here.
You could just like
crawl up that way.
Right down there on that shelf. And one time I crossed this, it was like 2 years ago, me and Taylor Russell, we were coming this way. There was all solid ice, and we were just busting ice the whole way through. And I'm like going forward, backing up, forward, backing up. And when I got up here, like there was all this busted ice and everything, and there was a freaking salmon that was just like this big, still alive, but it was like lethargic. It spawned out, but I don't know how it was still alive. Wild. Didn't believe it. And I also busted my hydro assist hoses on my ram and had to fix that. That was a bummer.
So I'm going to cross on foot here at this stream. It's kind of loud. But Peyton crossed on foot, so it should be all good. And then can get a video of Hunter coming down here from the front. All right, here he comes. It's going to drop down. This is where all that flex really helps, and big tires. Too easy, man, too easy. Got little meters there too. Too easy, man.
Too easy.
At the same crossing, I figured it'd be cool to get an action shot so you can see everything that's going on underneath Hunter's rig. So I mounted my action camera, and it offers a pretty cool perspective. So we just crossed the creek there, and now we are going to go head up to the lake. Couple steep hill climbs, but we've done most of the trail for today to get to the spot where we're going to have lunch. So we'll head up there, get a few more shots, and then eat lunch and make our way back.
I love watching the tires go through the mud. It's just like the most satisfying like sight.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look at me. Just squishing mud.
Hunter's coming up this hill here. We're almost to the lake. Bit of an incline, but nothing too bad. These 40-inch tires make a huge difference. Alright, we are coming down onto the lake here, couple steep hill descents. A little tree branch smack. So what's really nice about Hunter's rig is he can pretty much go anywhere you want solo. I would never come here solo with the weather like it is right now in my Land Cruiser, but when you've got 40s and 1-tons, it doesn't matter. Hunter's gonna cross up here. I think it's water, but we'll find out. think it's frozen, I should say. Looks frozen enough. All right, so this is the halfway point for us here. We are at the lake, and we're just gonna have some lunch here. Super nice day, sun's starting to come out. Lake's a little bit frozen, so I'll get you guys in a little bit closer here. In the summer, this is a melted lake, but right now, this is April, and it's still frozen. But it is dog time.
Oh, you're good. I got a torch.
Got a big fireman right here. Literally, fireman.
Oh, yeah. Fireman. Where's the torch?
Get a fire going, get some dogs going. This is what it's all about. Usually one thing Hunter does to make his trips a good time is have a fire and cook some food. Hunter had brought some deer sausage that he had made locally at Indian Valley Meats. We spent some time telling stories and taking in the scenery at this frozen lake nestled in the trees. How's that dog treat taste?
It's not bad.
Like a grainy, flavorless
Yeah.
beef steak.
It's sweet. It's sweet, though.
It does have like a
It's sweet.
Like a sugar coating on a pill. Like a ibuprofen or something.
it tastes like grain, honestly.
They are grain. It's mostly grain with a little bit of meat.
Yeah.
What is it?
You know what it tastes like?
I was eating dog treats.
If you were to
Protein,
put
fat.
a little bit of salt, a little bit of sweetness on like some ground up corn.
Dude, I mean,
This is what Hunter has so little money left after building his 4Runner.
we're out of hot dogs.
that he's reserved to dog treats.
We got nothing left but Cheetos and dog treats.
It's not that bad.
That's good. Dude,
The sun has come out, as you can see. It's pretty bright, and I didn't bring sunglasses. But we're gonna start heading back here on the trail and take a different crossing if we can make it, and hopefully check out some old mining stuff. And yeah, in Hunter's big old 4Runner. So there is this rock here, little boulder. For me, with 35s, this might be a little bit of a problem, but for him, it's literally just walk over it. Like the easiest thing he's ever done. It's getting a little bit slippery here, so everything's melting. You can kind of see maybe the snow melting off the trees here with the sun out. Hunter's always down for a good time, so on the way back I set up on the other side of this puddle and told him to give it some gas for the slow motion clip. We also saw some moose that probably had warrants as they ran at the sight of us. So we're pulling up here, some old mining equipment. Probably coal mining.
yeah, boilers, steam boilers. I found $5 here one time.
You found $5?
$5 right here on the ground.
What's the concrete?
So that used to support the pipe that came out for the water that goes into that.
If you've watched other videos on my channel, you'll know that a lot of the off-road trails here in Alaska are from past mining operations. This trail is at least here partially because of an old mining operation, so on our way back we decided to check out some of the old mining equipment. Hunter and Peyton are mechanically inclined people, so we took a look at the old boilers and the steam engine and talked about how they could have been used for an old mining operation, probably a coal mine.
Very cool though. I like how the big rocks are in the cement. That's that.
Yeah. Yeah, would not be an off-road trip in Alaska if there wasn't some mining equipment somewhere. Alright, well, I did say that we wanted to cross at the other crossing here, but that is it right there. And if you can see down there, I don't really know if that's something that's going to hold the weight of Hunter's 4Runner on this little snow bridge. And the furthest trees to winch to, or the closest trees to winch to, are kind of far away over there. So we're not going to risk it. We're just going to come back in the way that we came, turn around. Yeah, that's just life in Alaska. I don't think this is very likely to hold the weight of the 4Runner. And if we fall in, we're kind of screwed, so. Oh yeah, bro. Did you just kick in a good chunk of it? All right, we are back at the other river crossing that we came out on. So I think for this one, I'll probably snap a couple of photos of Hunter crossing. But the snow's melting pretty fast. That it's not really too crazy or anything out here as far as climbing out. Should be pretty good. No problem for the 4Runner on 40s for sure. Trying to climb the steeper ledge here, his tires just kept digging out the snow and the riverbank underneath, so he put it in reverse and climbed up the ledge we went down earlier that day.
Yeah, if you jump right there, it'll break.
Yeah, it looks like Hunter just broke right through here.
So
All this stuff will be gone, just a matter of like a couple weeks, yeah. Bro's gonna dude, you're just making yourself like a little island. On our way back, the snow from that morning had melted, so it was just a muddy ride back to the parking lot. When we got back to the trailhead, Hunter showed us his newest idea, a pressure washer setup in the back of his pickup. Hunter's always thinking and coming up with ways that could make off-roading with his 4Runner easier. With this, he doesn't have to worry about making his driveway messy or pay the money and time to be at a self-wash.
Oh, Bertha.
That was our trailing for today. So we had a great day out here with Hunter and Peyton. And Hunter's rig performed as it always does. That's what's great about it. Just takes us around, hauls us where we need to go, and we never really worry about anything bad happening, ever, even if we're alone. Hunter's rig is definitely built for Alaska. Catch you guys around. Thanks.
Got him.
Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Drink a beer. What are you drinking? Can't even tell what he's drinking.
Fireball, dude.
Oh, it's Fireball? He's drinking Fireball? Sorry, I can't see through the screen. We'll catch you guys around. Thanks.